Welcome to Project 2 of our Excel course. In these sessions, we are going to build a fully functional budget and sales dashboard step by steps using formulas, charts, and pivot tables. Okay, so by the end of this project, you will be able to create and clean our data sets in Excel, use formulas like sum, average, if, and VLOOKUP for calculations, and build interactive pivot tables or inserts professional charts and slicers for insight, and combine everything into a dynamics dashboards that updates automatically. Okay, so this is a hands-on sessions, so open your excels and follow along. Okay, so here, and I have opened up the new worksheet with the book 1 and also the sheet 1. Okay, so the first one is we'll create a data sets with sales transitions. So here the simple structure. So let's say if I'm gonna type here, the first one is, let's say we'll create like that. This one is the date, and the next one is, let's say, the regions, and next one is the product, like this one, and the next one is the sales persons, let's say, and we're gonna do the sales persons like these ones or over here. Then let's say we want to use this one, the unit sale. Let's go to and write units sold like this one, and we want to give here the unit price. So let's say, or say, and the another one is the revenue. Okay, and that's it. Or another is the last one is, let's say, the expense, and that's it. Here we have this one, and also the next one is, so now let's add the data sets over here. And if I'm gonna use simple data sets, or let's say we're gonna want to use over here, and here we have the simple data sets over there. Okay, and also, or here we can use the, or like here I have used the the manually, but if I use the revenue, like we'll use revenue like unit sales and the unit price. So for that, so let's make it, or we can do, so, or let's use the unit sales and multiplies by the, or the unit price, and that's it we have over here. Now drag the formula down, and here we got it, the all result. Okay, so and that's it. So before that, so let's create this one as the participants. So let's select it and go to the view, and let's use the participants and top rows over here. So now I can just, or you can show up these top rows or the top rows headers. Okay, so these data sets will act as the foundations of our dashboards. Okay, and before that we can do, so let's make it the difference, or make it something like it could be shows up like the, or the tables like that, there's one. And if I gonna use it, so and that's it, we have these styles over here, or here I'm gonna do, so let's make it the all borders. Okay, and here, so, or the another thing is we want to use this one as like the rename it with the data sets over here. So let's say we're gonna call it the data sets. Okay, so and that's it. And before analysis, so let's clean the data. Like if you do have the blank, or like the blank rows, you can delete it from there, and ensure that so you don't have the any blanks rows over here. And the another thing is, so let's ensure data columns in the proper date format. So for example, we want to use, like, let's select it all of them, like this data over here, and or I can do, so let's, you have this one, let's go to the more number format. And now let's use these data sets with, like, if I gonna go to, and let's show ups with the date, month, and also like the that's one, and or I'm gonna use this one, and that's it. Okay, so and that's it. So now let's use this one is the auto fit. Okay, so and that's it. And for currency, columns like revenue and the expenses, so we can do it, like, let's select it and let's use like all the these the rows. Now let's use it this as the currencies, and that's it. Now let's remove the or decrease the decimals. Okay, and the another one, so let's add columns, and we want to write here columns like the profit. Okay, so let's write here the profit. And the next thing is here, now we want to use like the revenue, or revenue, we want to like or minus it from the or the expense, or let's go with, like, let's say the profit, and first one is the revenue, and the next one is the expenses, so that's why we get the profit. So now let's drag all the, or we have these datas or the over here. Okay, so and that's it. So now let's make it with the same over or same or colors in there. So now we are ready for analysis, and here, and now we'll start with Excel, like formulas to calculate business like KPIs. Okay, so for that, let's move into the total revenue. And if I'm gonna click over and let's say use the sum functions, and now let's delete from like the G2 from here, and it will comes up the G201, like that, this one, and select it, and now then close it and hit on the okay. So this gives us the total sales revenue. Okay, so the total expense we can do, select it, or we can use the auto sums, click over here, and now hit on the okay. So and that's it. And the total profit we can use same way, like by using the sum functions, and let's say, and now we can use here, like, let's say the totals, and just use the like auto sums to find out the, like, here the total profits in there. Okay, so and there's it we have over here, and this is the total. If I gonna say like the this one, this is the totals of like the revenue or before that. So let's move into the there. Okay, so now let's highlight it with the bold. Okay, so now let's move into the, and we want to find out the profit margins. Okay, or we can do, or before we want to use the average over or order value. So here if I gonna go to, let's say, or we can just say the AOV over here, and now let's bolt it for now, and we can do, so this is the average or like the value. So let's say we go with the average, and let's say the average functions, then let's say the h2, let's go with, and we want to say the age or like the like 201, and close it with the parenthesis and hit on the okay. Okay, so and that's it. And the profit margin we can do over here, let's say that this is the profit or margin, let's say, and if I gonna go to like these ones, and now we can do here the profit margins. So let's say, or we can just use it over here. So let's go with, and let's say the sum, and the next one is the j, or like here, or we can do over here, or let's say we can do it from, or let's go with the j2 to, let's say the j, or 101, and then use it the another one, and let's use the divided by sum, and we're gonna want to use like the h2. It means we have like the expenses, and to until the h, or let's say the 101, and now, or here, or what we can do. So let's go ahead, or we can now close it with the parenthesis, or before that. So let's move into the parenthesis over here. So, and that's it now, or like we can just hit on the okay. Okay, so now that here we have the profit margins is gives here, and top salespersons with max we can find with the index functions in there. Okay, so, or we can take this one all into the tops if you're gonna want to use like something over here. So let's say if I use this one into the over here, so like here, and there sits in there. Okay, so this is the totals, and like here, let's copy it and paste over there. Okay, so there, and we have just use it over here, or if I gonna now go to, and here we have like the that's one. Okay, so the next thing is we want to use the top sales portions. Okay, so like here, or like we can do it over here, and this is the profit margin. So let's say one, we can go with the this one with the percentage first, and the next one is, so let's use the top, and if I'm gonna say the sales portions, let's say the sales portions with max. Okay, so here what we can do, or before that, so let's make it to close over here, and I want to work over here. Okay, or let's make it little bits over here. So now we can do, let's use the index function. So let's use the index like that, this one, and now let's say the d12 or d2 to, or let's say the before that, so let's use the parenthesis, and let's say the d, or let's go with the 1 or 2 to d, or 101. So here it selected the sales portions or columns over here, and the next one is the row number. So let's use the row number with the match functions, and for that, so let's use the max over here, and the another one is, let's use the h2 to h101, so for the expenses, and the next one is, so let's use the h2, let's go with, and if I'm gonna say the h, or 100, and let's say the 1, and this is the lookup array, and the another one is we want to say the exact match, so let's use the 0, close it with the parenthesis, and then hit on the OK. So, and that is the top sales portions with the max is the John. Okay, so, and that's it. And the another thing is the conditionals analysis with the, or like the examples, or with, or the if functions. So let's say if I'm gonna go to, so like let's say the if, and let's say, or we want to use the here, let's use the j2, or if I'm gonna use something the j, or let's say the or J2 is greater than thousands in there, or we want to say the high or high profit, let's say, or like let's go with the high profits over here. And the another one is we want to say, so let's go with the high profit. And another thing is otherwise we want to say the low profit. Okay, so let's go to our with this text and close it, and then just we can do, then just hit on the okay. So and that's it. Or here we have the I, or before that we can do the I. Okay, so and that's it. Or here we gonna want to use something, not the J, let's make it the I. And the same way we can do for like the this one, and that's it. So and that's it, the profit margin like this way. So this formula will help us extract meaningful insights before building the visuals. Okay, so here totals, expense, profit, average of, or like the here average order values in there. Okay, so and that's it in there. And next let's summarize data with pivot tables. Okay, so here we have the like the data sets over here. And before that, so let's create this one is as like the tables by going to the inserts, or use the tables, or just click on the Ctrl plus T to use it and make it the tables. And that's it. Okay, so now that here we have this one as the tables, and now you can see in there. Okay, so and the another thing is we can give here the names with the sales data. Let's say we gonna want to use the sales data over there. Okay, so this now this table's name is sales data. So now when I used, and you can also use the revenue or expense, or like you can use the minus. Okay, so now we want to use the inserts pivot tables. So for that, what we can do, so select the data, or now go to the insert tabs and click on the pivot tables. Okay, so here now click on the, or from the table range over here, and it's selected. Now choose where you want the pivot table to be replaced. So now we want to use the new worksheet in there, then just hit on the OK. So now the step 2 is build the pivot views. So revenue by the regions, so we want to do, so let's regions move into the rows areas over here, and values like a revenue into like, and this is with the sums of over here. Okay, so and that's it, we have found it like that, there's one. And also you can use the unit shows by the product if you wanna want to use. So like here, or like you need to do product should be the rows, and also you can use the, or before that let's delete it for remove this field. And let's again we want to use the pivot tables over here, and let's go to the exiting worksheet, and here we want to use for from there, and there's it's over here. Now we can do like, let's go to and use product to the rows area. And also the next one is the values like unit sold. Okay, so let's go our text to the over here, so this is over here. And same way profit by sales versions. So what we can do, so let's go to again, and let's use the another pivot tables with over here exiting worksheet. Let's use exiting worksheet from here, and that's it. So now we can do like let's rows into the sales portions, and values into the profit, or like profits into the values area. Okay, so and that's it. The same way we can do monthly revenue, and you can do by over here. So let's go to again, and we can do, so let's go to the over here, and we can do now. So let's go to the inserts and use the pivot tables. Now from the table range, exiting worksheet, and now go to the over here, and I can just select like over here. So and that's it. So now let's date groups or into the rows area, and also the value, the like the revenue into the values area. So and that's it, we have like the that's one. So now let's use it like this way, we have just created as like this way. Okay, so now we want to use like the row labels, we want to give here the names like the regions, and the this one we gonna want to use these ones is the product. Let's go with the product, and these ones we is comes with the sales persons. So let's say, and here we want to say, so this is the date. Okay, so this is the date wide or date wise revenue. So now we have like the simple one. So now we can insert the slicers for the regions and also the product. Okay, so like we can do by going to the this or the pivot analyze and select the insert slicers, and we can do like something with like let's say the regions over here, and their seats are over here, or let's say we can use the product into the, or let's use the product in there and then hit on the OK. So now that here we have like the that's one. So now if I gonna go select the headphones, now it comes with the headphones over here, and before that, so let's select it, we have like the these ones over here. So if you want to find out like the laptops with the different regions, you can find it tablets for over here, and for the specific regions you can have like the these ones or before that. So let's close it all is over here, and now you can see according to the different regions we have these different revenue. So same way you can do for the product, or you, or we can filter dashboard with one clicks with the slicers. Okay, so you can do for like the these ones. And the another thing is, so let's move and inserts the building the charts. So let's convert pivot tables into the visuals. So like here, let's close it all of them, and we can do, so let's or make it like that this one or before. So let's use it over here, or you can do like if you don't want to use it, so you can remove it like that there's one. So if you want to use, or what can I do, or we can just keep it, or let's go with the this one, like we want to add the pivot charts by using pivot table analyze and use the pivot charts. Okay, so like over here, and let's say use the column charts and then just open it. So and that's it over here, and also, and we need to do, let's add the data labels, and that's it over here, we have the data labels in there. Okay, so and here, so when you change like the laptops, you can now see changes over here. So this is the simple way, you can just select it and you can have like these styles. Like if I use the multiple selections, according to here we have this data, and according to the difference product we have the difference, or the, or here we have shows ups in the this amount. Okay, so now we can use like the profit like this one into the, like if I gonna go to like the these ones over here, or what can I do, so let's make it like over here, and that's it. Or I can do, so let's take to the over here, and we can just use it into there. So now let's make it the monthly revenue or the profit by the sales by selecting and go to the pivot table analyze, and go to the like here, let's say the pivot charts, and this times let's use the bar charts, and that's it. With the bar charts we like profit by the sales portions. Okay, so now let's move into the over here. Okay, so and that's it. Now we want to use the monthly revenue trends, so select it, go to the pivot table, analyze, and let's use the pie charts. So let's go to, and we're gonna use the pie charts for now, and then just we have over there. So and that's it, we have like the totals for the revenue according to the dates. And also, or we can do like you can use the line charts like monthly sales trends if you wanna want to use, or like not the this one. So let's change here the different charts, or let's change the chart types. Let's use the line, and that's it for like the that's one. And for the product and also the monthly, like this is the, we can say the product performance with the pie charts like over here, or like this is over here, and this is you can see the region, salespersons, months and date. And for the product we can do, let's go to over here, let's use the pivot charts, and let's say the pie charts. So and that's it in there. Okay, so this is the here the overview in there. Okay, so and that's it. And so make sure to format charts with clear titles, legends, and also the colors. So like here you can give here with your names, so who is, or like from which pivot tables you are using these charts. Okay, so now let's we bring everything together. So we can do create or inserts a new worksheet, or let's say we're gonna give here the names. So let's say we're gonna want to use this name is the dashboard. So let's say the dashboard, or let's go with like that this one. Now we want to copy pivot charts here, so let's go to, or if I'm gonna select all of them like that, these four, copy it and paste it in the dashboard. And before that, so let's make it little zoom in and paste over here, and that's it. So what we have in there. So now let's also resize it like these ones, and if I'm gonna select it over here, and here we have the overview of with the charts we have work in there. So now you can also arrange, so like whatever you work in there you can find into the there. So like if I'm gonna copy all of them, or like that this one, or if I'm gonna copy it over here, and let's move into the there. Okay, so or what can I do? So let's right click, and if I'm gonna go to like the this one, so that's it with the examples. Or let's undo it from here, or let's say we're gonna want to use the, or let's go with the this ones like the paste links in there. Okay, so whatever it will be changed in there, so you will find changes in there, or this is the update one. Okay, so for now, and if I'm gonna delete it like that these ones, or what can I do? So let's delete it from here, and now let's make it with the another colors. So or I can do, so let's select it and make it the bold, and that's it. Or I'm gonna do, so let's make it also this one as the bold. Okay, so and here we can use like the left side like the columns or chart columns over here, and also the right you have the bar charts if you're gonna want to use like the these ones over here. And also the bottoms you can use the line charts and also the pie charts. So and that's it in there. So you can add or place regions and product slicers on the tops, or before that what we can do, so let's right click and inserts over there. So now let's go to the data sets or go to the sets, and now we're gonna want to copy like the product and regions into the copy it, and let's go to the dashboard and paste over there. Okay, so and before that, so let's insert and make it the more space from there, and that's it, or let's use it in there, or what can I do? So and that's it. So now whatever you select in there, and you can now see the changes, or let's use the multiple selections and you will get in there. Or before that, so let's or for now we can hide it in there. So and that's it. So whatever you can select it, and you can now see the changes in there, or let's say it we have like the there's one. Okay, and context slice or connect slices to all pivot tables in there. So if I gonna now connect it into the there, you can easily connect like the slicers with over here. Okay, so like you can just select it, or you can connect it from there like slicer settings, or before that, so let's go to, or you can use the here options, and you can connect it with there. Okay, or filter connections in there. So let's go to and use the filter connections in there. Okay, so and that's it. So now we have professionals dashboards where magnets or managements can filter by products or regions, instantly see the performance. Okay, so and that's it. Or before that, you can use or hide the, or like, or you can hide the these like the grids or grid lines from there. So now it comes like this way. So and that's it for now. And final touches and testings. So test the slicers for the interactives and update database or datasets with new rows. So like here, if I delete something for now, so let's delete it like over here. Now you can see it's change in there, and also you have, or if I'm gonna now refresh it with over here, and you can also change or find in there with our data sets. Okay, so you can always do by refresh, or right click on over there, or use the refresh like if you do have over here, so you can just refresh it. Okay, so now let's undo it for now. If I gonna now undo it for, let's go over it, and that's it. So save the file as, like go to and let's say save as, let's go to, we want to use into the documents, and let's say the budget, or let's say the sales. Okay, so and that's it, and then just save it. So congratulations, you have just built a complete Excel budgets and sales dashboards with formulas, pivot tables and charts. So you have learned how to clean and prepare the data sets and apply the KPIs, and also use pivot tables and slicers for dynamic summarize, and build a professional charts, and also combine everything into a single dashboard sheets. Okay, so and that's it, and keep practicing, because dashboard are one of the most in demand Excel skills today.